Uh, as we all are aware that we had the 2010 Constitution, it gave us a mandate, the people or the community to have a say in everything. So, Chapter 1 of the Constitution, the preamble, the people, is the sovereignty power belongs to the people. So, we appreciate our governor, our former governor, Professor Kibwana. He actualized that very much important aspect of the people leading themselves through the communities to form what we call the village clusters, which is the people's government, so that we can articulate our own issues from villages to the county level. The people's government role is to champion development activities. We know that we are having what we call the objects of the devolution and principles of devolution under Article 174 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, which gives the people the self-rule, whereby we can decide, can make a decision on what we want on the ground, what we want to be done by the government, or what we want ourselves to do for ourselves, since that article gives us the power to do what we call the community-led development. That is a journey to self-reliance. Under the Article 175 of the Constitution gives us the principles whereby the county governments are entitled to have that democratic space to work with the people and to collaborate with the people to make sure that all the required constitutional fundamental rights of the people are met, especially on the gender rules, the say, what is the say for the marginalized communities? They should have a say in making decisions, especially in the participatory budgeting and even implementation of the projects, and even doing the social accountability part of it. So the most important thing on the people's government, it is to do the social accountability part of it. As we all know that most of the governments, or most of the institutions, when they hear the word people's government, they tend to shy away from them, and we might not be empowered that much, but I do appreciate the government was on the forefront to empowering the people's government to actively participate in every development agenda in Makueni County. Take an example on the development projects in Makueni County. Every development project has a project management committee and a project sustainability committee when it comes to an end, so that the project belongs to the community, not the government. So that has been a guiding principle to making this people's government a real one. The people's government structure comes from, in Makueni County we have 3643 villages, 3,643 villages, which are 9 to 10 villages are combined to form what we call the village clusters, whereby at the village clusters, the community comes up with community action plans, what they want to be done. They outline their issues, what they want to be done in that financial year. And several clusters, like 6 or 7, they form what you call the sub-ward development committees, whereby in Makueni County we have 60 sub-wards. 2 sub-wards form a ward development committee. So we are having 30 wards. And we also form the 30 wards as every constituency, sub-county has a sub-county development committee, and as the sub-county development committee forms the county committee, which is the apex committee, which obviously meets at county level to plan or to cross-check whatever what have been said from the village clusters, it's that which has become at the county level, so that the executive or the county assembly cannot just sit at their respective areas, offices, and they should change the communities at their areas of needs. So this is the people's government, that is the structure. Those are some of the things that we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Niazeni msindu ni melati mingi la tunaje na ngavano Kibudagi bwana na kuma 2013 niwe ngavano witu twethiwe nake na atupindwa wethia ni tatauma Misili tathi Israel nundu nitethiwe na melati mingi nundu embwa twambia melati katika apilenji bakati kathi kufika katika account hii bilenji singili 3 yana yemwe na 17 na hizo ziongo githe kila bilenji singi vetu kila mwezi ene wana kaindo itona kueto no mundi ene jiwe serikali yesu ya ngapa na Kibudagi bwana melati niteneji mingi na nzama hizi account nina diyo kami lati siendete isiaiti kana unu mulati wewe kwe niwe wikitwe na mbeza sia mwene ndi nitumitwe neza ukete nzama isu ya account ikwete account yonde nina diyo ka ikadiyo account yonde ikasise kana melati ya mwene ndi nimethelu kwa unazi ya serikali yesu ya Makueni kuma 2013 kufika 2022 netwejia maundu maingi alati tezikana netukamona ingi kwa ukwa bina wangai we ageka chama tutone kumona nundwe kyo kugogethwa ithie tuneka babiliki participation kila bandu ona mozi ukombana na ziana mugega babiliki participation nigenda mwambezi rumwamba tete na mwendete mwandani kwa hiyo nene yona nyonde nende mukwambia misi ambaye ina babiliki participation na yona mazonga wivye ila mwekalanze na mweka babiliki mwipa umuzi na mukana ka mukaijema na kekwatile pa kala kange kwatile pa na kuithi maunduni ala maku inde wadiazi ana ziye idhiyo nizete kwethi andi ona mazukulu ende zina babiliki participation uye isiana siya kwati baiwa manando ito nodi ona hile mwamba kama keko babiliki participation nikangana mama manando mwazo mwede yeke mujike lamu no kime noma mine kugezoe kime noma mugeze ya maundu menu mela isi muno kwa ngaba na Kibudagi bwana ni boyanga ya motedie na ine mande ya Kibila Makueni ni gwate kaleta teke yandi na nozia.
Since 2013 to 2022, they did lots of projects from the village level, from the 3,000 villages that were here, that comprise this county. And each of those villages has something that they can show for through that process of public participation and community-driven development. She also says that there was a committee at the county level that would go through the projects, inspecting and ensuring that money that are allocated for to the benefit of the citizens and being put into great use, and they would go inspecting and ensuring that was happening. And so she says that they definitely currently miss that level of participation and development. It's not as it used to be, and she wishes that it would come back. And her, not parting shot, but her word of advice is like that this thing called public participation is not tiring once you've discovered it and put it into great use. And so she encourages people to start it at the family level, so that even you and your kids can discuss who is doing what, when, where, and that kids are not left to their own devices to get things done. And she also said that it's wonderful bringing it to schools so that children and teachers can also understand what role they play in the bigger picture. What have been some of the most daunting challenges to make this model work?
Some challenges, because one, challenges to raise from the village to the top. It is not like you are elected into your village and then you go to the top. No. You be elected to your village, you go convince the people at the cluster they have to elect you. You go convince the people at the sub-ward, the ward, the sub-county, even to the county. Then the other challenge, you find that we like, when you're there, you are the watchdog of the Mwananchi, the Mwenendi. You want this muradi to be done to the best, to follow the BQ, to follow the standards, to follow everything, every single coin of the Mwananchi. Sometimes you cross paths of maybe some administrators, some contractors who want to bend the laws, who want to be corrupt, and you're there. So sometimes you like labeled, hata fulani chaneni na yeye, akikuja hapa ataharibu deal. But it is a good challenge because it means that something is happening. Because if people are afraid of being corrupt because somebody will expose them, it means that something good is happening in the ground. Also, especially now, we got, me and him, we got into, at least the regime, they are a bit older. We were young, there was that notion. But I thank God because we had a good governor, a good mentor, who never looked down on us because we were young. He was ready to listen. He was ready to correct us. Yeah, to correct us, and also we were easy to learn. Unaweza kuwa pale lakini pia hutaki kulearn. So those I can say maybe they were the most challenging bit. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
There are so many benefits. One, there's a lot of mentorship in it. Two, there's a lot of accountability.
Yeah.
Three, there's a lot of inclusivity. Between different platforms of development. For example, you'll find that the is there, the legislation is there, the Mwananchi is there, the contractor is there. So you will find that the link between the whole stakeholders is fluent. And development becomes easier. It is not about, there's also another thing. We also involve people living with challenges, like the HIV affected and infected persons, the PWDs, the working people, the faith-based, talk about the business class people, such things. There's a lot of inclusivity. And in public participation, there's a lot of awareness, whereby you cannot do any development without teaching the people the benefits and let the thing be theirs. Not a government-driven item or identity. Let the people own their projects. Because after, for example, when the governor was in his office, he cannot come and say, all the miradis that has been done by his time in office belongs to him. They belong to the common Mwananchi. And you find that there is a lot of ownership. Mtu akiangalia kama ni bohol na aiendeshwi katika hali ya kwamba mipango yake imenyoroshwa, people will shout out and confront others. They will say no. They will say yes. In public participation, the link between the contractor and the people is the development committee member in that particular project. Therefore, we have to say that during the time of Mzee Kevoda in his office, there was a lot of inclusivity from his office all the way to the Mwananchi. So when you look at it, by the time we were starting public participation in our county, there was a lot of lack of knowledge. People could not understand when they want to begin, when they want to do what. There was just like a tug of war. Alafu unapata kwamba ma-MCAs hawakuwa for the side of development. They were for the side of themselves. So therefore, you will find that we had a lot of challenges. Like I think you had. Kuna wakati watu walikuwa wanarushiana makonde hasa wakitaka kumpiga mzee governor. Lakini unajua Mungu yeye ni Mungu. Alimsave ili aweze kuweka kaunti yetu katika ramani ya kidunia, mpaka hata tukapata partners like the NDP Bank, and the other NGOs. Even the national government came here to benchmark about the public participation, where it is you can touch it and hold as an item. You see? Mpaka hata huyu governor wa kutoka Vihiga, Wilberforce Otichilo, alisema ya kwamba hakuna haja ati tutoke hapa tuende Malaysia, tuende huku wapi, Japani, where name those countries that do public participation. Alisema ya kwamba hata watu wote wakuje Ukambani waone maendeleo. I think we deliberated kule chini wote, tukaeleza mambo mengi sana na watu wakafurahia, na sisi sote tukafurahia. Hata wakati ule with the public participation, you will find that the governor will come out of the office, go to meet his people, eat with them, interact with them in different levels, and then you will understand many things that affect the people, because their body language will speak out. But if you are just in idol na unaonekana kwa TV, governor wa TV out. Governor wa TV na magazeti na radio, it is not applicable. You will you will cheat the people, and the people will not sijui kama watakurudisha kwa ofisi tena, na hata wakikurudisha itakuwa ya kwamba ni kama huko na mazinga ombwe.
Thank you for that. I want to, a big round.
Neziwe na ngaba nongi katika public participation nao lile whether atele kumekuate ya kwa sababu wote abu katika kuchanganyikiwa nondo tena tuatika whether ando metwa katika sababu wote maikuka na mali yakuka emzia nukupetu kidiondo akayikweka nondo ando ni mali ile kuka nondo maambelwe ulo bandu bakwambelwa bala manama netu kwa uwethe ya katika ale ya kuzaniwa na yu ithete ona gichume chuma ngolovani onelanga banone bote na mwa gicha kaundike kauma ngolovani kwa ujale ya guma kwa uti ide ila beka luti mana gichi to chumete ngolovani ando langu bewele kwa uti ona thina weo itula museum te.
Situation is that they experience less of public participation, and they've missed the most important link, which is the village. And now they're starting at sub-county, which is like quite really high. And sub-ward, yes. They're starting now at sub-ward level, and which people did not turn up, and then when they don't turn up, the MCAs are able to pass some of those development projects without much scrutiny. So that link at the very bottom has sort of been lost. And another link that she mentioned is mentorship. In between different regimes, and so when a new regime comes in, they don't feel they have as much to learn from the previous, and then they just keep moving forward while ignoring such a big milestones that were achieved in the previous one, and she feels that's a big link, missing link as well.
On the legal framework on the people's government, it was on, I think, late 2021. We wrote a letter to the governor requesting the people's government come up with a clear policy which outlines the development committees or the community under the participatory development to be an entity in making sure that all development projects and the development agenda in Makueni County, and as long as it is for the people of Makueni and for the goodwill of the people of Makueni, the people as I say, we as the people government, we are just but volunteers in development. We don't treat ourselves as staffs of the county government, but partners of development in Makueni County. Not only partners, but the owners of the real development. Currently, as Professor has said, public participation is taking place, but it is not as active as before, because, you know, when designing or coming up with projects in our communities, they should really come from that old mama, from that old babu, from that physically challenged young girl and boy in the society. Even in Makueni County, we do have what we call the child participation at the schools. So, when the public participation starts from the sub level, it means that there are those key important pillars and persons in our communities who have not shared their views and ideas. And I think the Constitution gives us that mandate. Everyone should and is entitled to give views on every participatory development program, not only in Makueni County, but in the general public. So, what I can emphasize is that the counties, not just Makueni, the counties and even the national government should come clear with clear policies, with clear thoughts on making the common mwananchi to be at front. They should consult wide, they should integrate with us as the communities, down there to the community members, so that we can outline our own problems. You know, at our own communities, we face a lot of challenges. And the government should not just come up with a program that we are going to set a borehole at, let's say, at Emali. And the pressing issue is not water. It can be education, road, etc., etc. So it is of much importance that not only the government to just sit and wait for the people to raise up and try to force themselves to participate, but they should take this as a godly gift and put it to much consideration that we have to listen to the voice of the people.
Public participation has become expensive to the mwenendi, to the common mwananchi, because now the mwananchi, you know, the devolution is all going to the mwananchi to listen to them. And now you tell them, you go to that place. That is where I'll come to hear your views. So there's that cost. Okay. Okay. Oh, so there's that, yes. So he used to bring his team down to the village. Even the whole shows the whole world, everybody could come out. But now you're telling people, you know now, this is, I think, hapa, tuanzeni huko juu. So people have to travel. People have to incur transport cost to go and participate. And they will feel, no, let me go to my shamba and do 1, 2, 3 so that I can be of help to myself and my family. So what has made it's just that cost, and you find many people are not going because they can't afford the fare and the transport. And another thing is that, and I plead for people who will maybe get in office and get in power. You know, when you get in office, it is not a matter of showcasing that you are good than the other. It's not about competition, who was better than the other. And because you want to feel you are good than the other, you come up with one strategy or another structure will destroy, so that you can, is it outwater or do what? Yes, downwater. You can downwater the efforts or the structures of the previous regime. So I think we should get into the leaders' mind. Our leaders, it is not about showcasing business. It's about divine given opportunity to serve humankind. And whatever is good, embrace. Whatever is bad, at least try to improve. But not to come scrap everything because you want to down water. Yes.
Water down.
To water down. Kizungu ni ngumu. To water down, yes, to water down the effort so that you can paint the other leader as in ni kama hakufanya kazi. Ni kama fulani hakufanya kazi, so that you can gain the votes of the people. Also,
if you don't want to do well, first of all, you blackmail the people. And I think that is what is happening within most of the counties. And of course, starting with ours here now. Because I don't see, if you find a bright cantor lighting and then you put it off, it is not God's wish. This is what I want to say. I want to say that there is a bottom-up approach development style of dealing with community. It has been said by the president when he was campaigning, and I think it is a good thing. And suppose we can put it into practice, the way it has been done by our former governor here, that one could bring a good picture of what can be embraced by the community there down, so that they feel that they own their government. Yeah. So I think with those few points, I want to appeal that let us get back to where we lost. Yeah. And it is wrong to blackmail some pillars of development, and you have all the others. That is wrong. Yeah. The right is to do it from bottom, and then you climb. Yeah. A bottom-up approach is so sweet. And I think it will be liked by most of the people because they don't want people to have knowledge. Yeah. And in order to put people in custodies, you just deny them knowledge. Yeah. And I think we have, she's a journalist, go and put that in one of them. So that watu waelewe na wajue ya kwamba kuna watu ambao wanaona hata kama unajificha. Kuna watu wamekuona kwa macho ya kuona. Unajua kuna macho ya kuona na kuna macho ya kutembea.
These participatory things, first of all, you rely, of course, on the Constitution, then the County Governments Act, because it says how it can be done. But there was supposed to be a specific national law to guide public participation so that it is real. It is not token. It's not, just doing something in the newspapers and giving 1 week and saying that's, you have given notice and so on. But again, because a lot of, particularly political people, are afraid of citizens having a lot of say. So that is why even the national law has taken time to come to fruition. In Makueni, we have a public participation policy. And we had a bill of public participation so that we could now also concretize the policy. But we had challenges with the assembly because even there was a time they said, we don't want to give money for civic education. We want to build dispensaries, roads, water projects. You know, you can't see civic education. So there is always that challenge of the more you want to, for people to know and to be involved, there are those who don't. And that's why we had a problem almost, the county was almost dissolved because there was that clash between the executive and the assembly. But so there is a policy, there is a bill which is before the county assembly of Makueni. But of course, the idea of these leaders coming here is not necessarily to criticize anybody. We are not interested in that. We are just interested in what is it that was our version of our people's government, this national county people's government, and you know how it can help to make people participate more in their government, in their lives. So even though they have expressed a bit of disquiet, I think that we shall leave it here because we don't want to be told you're attacking others, because that's not our intention. We were talking literature, we were talking people's development, not trying to criticize, you know, people and so on and so forth.